Prepare for launching.
This is Drive Time Live with Mark Hahn on AM 1360, FM 94.9 KSCJ. For a recap of today's biggest news stories, stocks, sports, weather, and more, here's Mark Hahn.
All right, we are back again in the studio. It's a great organization, the Partners for Patriots. And I think it's a great thing. You know, when Marcus Luttrell was here for the chamber dinner a couple of years back, he had his service dog with him. How long has the service dog program been going on for the military?
Well, service dogs have been available for a long, long time, but they just recently, probably within the last, 10 or 15 years, found out how effective these dogs are for PTSD, just helping them daily life skills, functioning, and they help everybody. There's many service, they've been leader dogs in the blind since the early 1900s.
Right.
There's been, dogs that help with, detecting cancer with, seizures, medic alert. There's so many different things they can do, and they're really just tapping into how beneficial they really are.
We were just talking about that, too, as a matter of fact. And these dogs that now can detect diseases. Martha, you were just telling me about a special gift that Cody has.
Yes, Cody can detect if my blood sugar drops, which, thank goodness, it doesn't very often. But if it does, before I can really tell that it's happened, then he'll come over and bump my arm with his nose.
And he can sense this, just basically smelling the skin, the pheromone. I don't know what you would say. What the right term?
What it is different physiological changes in the body that we have no clues going on. That the dog can sense. They can sense when there's a difference in the body, and that's why they help so much with like the PTSD. The anxiety issues, and we've had people, there's 22 service members a day that take their lives. That is 22 too many. Mm-hmm. And how these dogs help them to function, so far we have not found one that had a dog that has done that.
It's incredible what these animals can do.
It is.
As I said, I've seen reports, and I'm not getting off the idea of the service dogs for our veterans, but the things like what Martha was just talking about with Cody. Mm-hmm. Cody can detect when her blood sugar. There's been dogs that can detect cancers. And you told me a story of a dog that... Was this a person training the dog, or?
No, well, it was a helper.
A helper.
Gentleman in California, and at the time I do not know his name, but he had a standard poodle, a golden, and I believe a standard schnauzer. And he was teaching them to detect cancer. And one of the dogs hit on the body of a helper that there was no cells that were there. And he had checked every year, and 5 years later, our technology found the cancer that the dog had detected before.
The doggy technology found it 5 years before modern technology.
Yes.
That's amazing. The things that we find out, not only of what science finds out about the capabilities of the brain, things that we don't even know that we can do, or what the brain can do to compensate for, like our veterans who may have had a traumatic brain injury, how one side might compensate for the other one because of the loss and the things that can happen. And it's amazing when we see this with these animals, too. Yeah, do you think they'll ever replace the modern technology?
I think, they are. They're doing it now. I mean, they're, same thing. I've trained police dogs for 30 years, and their sense of smell when you're teaching them, to hit on narcotics. Mm-hmm. Lackland Air Force Base did a study and put 3 seeds in an ammo can, 3 marijuana seeds in an ammo box. Left them in there for 24 hours and took them out, and 30 days later, the dog was still saying they're in there. Because they could, 30 days later in a metal box, they could smell the seeds that were only in there for 24 hours. I don't think we've even tapped into their, ability. And they're just, their sixth sense, if you want to say, kind of their ESP.
My guests are Cindy Brody and also Martha McMinn. And we're talking about the service dogs and the Partners for Patriots, and of which you are part of. And you received a check from the Trump Foundation here not very long ago.
Yeah, we did. We had a donation that was sent to us February 12th. We actually received the check, for $100,000. And it was, it's such a blessing because, like now we're still, we're looking for a property. We have dogs everywhere in the prison in South Dakota, people that have volunteered to raise puppies. We have foster places. We have Bed and Biscuit that's offered to keep a couple. And, if not for these people's help, we couldn't be doing what we're doing right now because our biggest goal is to get, an acreage. I mean, it would be great if somebody said, hey, I know of one that has a house on it, because we will live with the dogs and put up the training center. But if somebody would donate something or a partial donation or even 5 acres of bare land, that would work. And of course you have to go through county zoning and so forth. Mm-hmm. But it just that is something that is going to help us to advance. Where we're putting out 5 to 10 dogs a year, we can get up to 40 to 60 just with that donation, so we can help a lot more veterans.
Was Cody a service dog?
No, Cody actually, what he does is he does demonstrations for partners. So we take him places and Cindy will drop a phone, he'll pick it up, maybe he'll help her take off her coat. He shows people what service dogs can do. And of course, if he was a real actual service dog, like was trained for a veteran, then you couldn't approach him or talk to him or play with him. Well, Cody's first of all family pet. My service dog, he goes to the office every day and meets and greets people, and then we take him out. We've gone to probably 50 or 60 places in the last couple of years, so people can see what he can do, what a service dog trained to help a veteran can actually do for them. So he's been very helpful, and he enjoys it. I think you can tell he's very
And
social.
then, of course, he does, if Martha would have a problem, which it's been such a long time because of diet and everything, she hasn't needed him, he would still let her know, hey, your blood sugar's too low.
Mm-hmm. Is there any particular type of dog? Now, Cody is a brute of a Rottweiler.
He's a big boy. But we don't, depending on if they need a dog for balance, we try to get a larger dog, obviously. But most of the dogs, we've had a couple donated by breeders. We've had a veteran that bought a dog of their own because they wanted one from a certain kennel. But most of the rest of them are rescues. They come from shelters. We take dogs, I think we're saving a life to enrich another life. And most of these dogs we're given up on, and they're not bad dogs. It's just their human owners did not know what to do for them. So we try to test them up, and if they work, they just want to serve. They just want a family to love and to love them back. So it's a, win-win situation.
But there's no, you mentioned when we talked about the dog that detected cancer in California. It's a Schnauzer.
Yeah, standard Schnauzer.
So there's no particular breed that you look for, because you said that really any of them, especially, and you get them from shelters.
Right, and they're mixed breeds. They're all kinds of dogs. It doesn't matter. Basically, the breed, or it doesn't matter if it's a male or a female or what breed it is. We've had some dogs. I had a veteran in another state that has a little Papillon, and was a friend's dog that she was going to have to put in a rescue, and we tested the dog up. That dog weighs maybe 12 pounds, and she's in a wheelchair, and that dog can empty out her dryer and have clothes on the table within 2.5 seconds, taking one item at a time.
Wow.
Taking it out of the dryer, and then she folds it, and he helps her get her coat off, in the wheelchair. And like I said, he's not over 12 pounds.
Now, most of us, when we've heard of service dogs, and before that everybody associates them with military to help those, like Marcus Luttrell with PTSD. Mm-hmm. But we've always known service dogs for the blind. Leader dogs. We've known dogs that are for the profoundly deaf. that will let you know that a doorbell's ringing or the phone is ringing or something is going on that way. And are we entering into a whole new realm of finding what our four-legged friends can do for us?
Oh, gosh, yes. They continue to shock me every day, with things that they pick up on. And, I'm training the dog to do this for a veteran. Like, we have one dog we're training for Todd Landon, and, that he has been through so much.
Mm-hmm.
And his dog had, just knew for somehow that's, he's not even with him yet. But he has come and worked with him a little bit, and we went to the function they had for, his house to help him remodel it at the Orpheum, and he went right to him.
And Breezy Struthers and Modern Kitchen Design, they're helping out with that. And they have that on displays. We hear it on the radio, that you can see what they're putting together for Mr. Landon.
And it's, that dog, I work with him every day, and I have done things like, not on purpose. Just the other day, in fact, I was walking through the shelter where he's at the moment, and, just tripped and went to go down, and he was right there, right underneath me. Just, literally blocked me. I just grabbed him, and I didn't fall. And, different things, getting stuff out of the refrigerator, picking up stuff for him. There's so many things they can do.
Different types of tasks. Now, if people want to find out more on how they can help, and in particular, somebody maybe that has some land that can be purchased or donated to you, and how many other folks beside yourself, Cindy, do you have as trainers? Are you the only one here?
Yeah, right now it's me. We do have one of my students that's helping up at the prison in South Dakota that will be coming to help us with more dogs as soon as, we do have a facility.
Okay.
But right now, yes, I'm...
Are you looking for people to help do this? To learn from you as to how to train these service dogs?
We can always use that. First thing we have to get, though, is a facility.
Right. A facility with some acreage.
Yeah, we're driving around everywhere, with different dogs in different places, and it makes it really hard. But that's what we have to do for the time being. But once we get the training facility up, it'll just change everything, because we'll have the room with, the automatic doors, the elevator buttons the dog has to hit, everything they do, turn on the lights, waking them up from the PTSD. We'll have rooms that will be like a bedroom, a bathroom, a kitchen, so that they learn how to do all the tasks that they need to do to help the veteran.
So do you have a website, or you have a way for people to contact you if they want to make donations? You just received $100,000 from the Trump Foundation, but you're going to need more than that.
Oh, yeah.
And this is a very worthwhile cause. How do people get a hold of you, or is there a website that they can go to?
We do have the website, which is partnersforpatriots.org. And we do have a Facebook page, or they can call me. The partners' phone number is 712-541-7763.
Very good. Cindy, I appreciate it. Cindy Brody has been my guest, and Martha McMinn. Martha, is there anything you would like to add?
No, just that it's wonderful to see what the dogs can do for people. It's very inspiring, and I think, once we get a place where we can train more dogs, it's really going to be great.
And we need the help.
Yeah, we do. And, there's what the veterans give to us. I've had the guys that, gals that receive dogs, thanking me so much. And I feel what I do is a drop in the bucket to what they do. And I think every person that walks out and takes a breath of fresh air every day, free, should thank the veterans every day and do something to help them.
Absolutely. We appreciate their service. So the last question I had for you, again, and it's partnersforpatriots.org.
Yes.
That they can find out more, and this is all going to stay local. This is going to go right to your organization here, right?
Yes.
How did you ever decide? Obviously, I would think you've been always an animal lover. How long has it been since you've been doing this, the training the dogs?
Well, I've actually been training dogs for 30 years. And when we get the facility up, eventually we will have boarding, grooming, training. I've trained police dogs. I graduated in '83 from Drexler's as a trainer and behaviorist. And then my mother used to own Colwell Banker on 12th and Pierce, and we lost her in '08 to cancer. And at that time, since my father-in-law was a veteran, James Brody, he used to be county attorney here in Sioux City, but he was killed in a plane crash in '59. And my husband's cousin is a Marine. I have 23 first cousins, and we have every branch of the military covered. And after I lost my mom, and my mom did very well, but, you know, when she got sick, everything she had didn't help her. You know, the cancer doesn't care.
Right.
And so we thought, you know, what do we really need? Our children are, you know, out of the house. They're on their own. My husband's disabled, and we work with his Beagle to help him. And I thought we could help. My sister retired from the Air Force after 20 years. Martha's dad was 30.
Dad was about 35 years.
35 years in the military. Her uncle, you know, so I wanted to do something with dogs because I knew how great they could be and implement it to help the veterans. And so in 2009, we were actually in Tennessee, but we started Partners for Patriots in honor of my mom and father-in-law. And then we moved to Sioux City in 2012, and that's when I met Martha, and it's really started going then.
All right, very good. Cindy Brody, Partners for Patriots, and Martha McMinn, thank you very much. We got 5 seconds. Quick, get a quick mark out of Cody.
Cody. No, he says